Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Emerging Franchise Brands Podcast. I'm your host, Frank Fiume, here live at the IFA2024 National Convention, and looking forward to interviewing some folks at this year's event. I'm with Graham Weihmiller, the founder and CEO of BNI. Graham, how are you?
I'm good. Actually, just to clarify, I am chairman and CEO. Our founder and chief visionary officer is Dr. Ivan Meisner. So I am chairman and CEO of BNI.
All right, thank you for clarification.
Sure.
All right, so why don't you tell us, what is BNI? What do you guys do?
It's actually the world's largest global business network. We have 318,000 member businesses in 77 countries. They get together every week in 11,060 chapters, and they follow a structured and fun agenda, not to sell to each other, but to refer new clients to each other. So it's a big business development platform. In the last year, just by way of scale, our members provided to each other $23.7 billion US in closed business via 15.4 million referrals.
Would you say is the format similar to like a Vistage or a YPO kind of format?
Well, so I'm a member of YPO, and we're familiar with Vistage, great organizations. Those organizations are really focused on peer advice, and they're kind of mastermind groups, and they can be, very helpful. Our model is very different. Our model is focused on referrals. So, BNI is a global referral generation machine. Everything we do, the training, the systems, the coaching, is all about helping purpose-driven entrepreneurs and business leaders build sustainably successful businesses via referrals, and that requires really getting strong relationships with other entrepreneurs and business leaders in their community, and that's what our chapters are.
And as we know, there's no better customer than a referral customer, right?
Well, it is true, not just anecdotally, but as you might imagine, we study this with lots and lots of analysis and data. The conversion rate of referrals into new business is dramatically higher, than for leads, and that's why we differentiate leads from referrals so much.
Cool. How many franchises do you guys have?
We have over 1,000 franchisees around the world, and so we have franchisees that run countries for us and support sub-franchisees which lead regions. So we are a franchise organization. We also love to support franchising because a lot of franchisees here and elsewhere encourage their new franchisees especially to get involved in a BNI chapter. The benefits of that can be that that new franchisee of whatever concept is not on their own. They're part of a team that's there to support them. And of course, the new clients and referrals are helpful for those new franchisees too.
What's I find incredibly progressive in franchising is how the trend has changed. Remember, because back in the day, you were either a franchisor or a franchisee. And I just think, obviously, it's just incredibly progressive of franchising, but it has made the franchisee-franchisor relationship that much stronger, and it has, just the fabric of franchising has become much more sophisticated, having people that are crossing over. Is this something that you've seen for a while now for you guys?
Yeah, I think it's become more fluid. I'm also on the board of the International Franchise Association, and I'd say that the mission there is to protect, enhance, and promote franchising for franchisors, franchisees, and suppliers. And I think those three working together very synergistically is a win all the way around, especially for communities and job creation, economic development, you name it. So I would agree that there's a lot more collaboration and fluidity, and I think that's good.
All right, so being on the board of the IFA, what's that experience been like?
Learning every day. It's amazing, and I think all of us in franchising are. Franchising is growing and changing. It's been an honor, more than anything, to have a chance to try to give back to the franchising community. I'm a huge believer in the power of franchising, and so more than anything, it's an honor. It does take some time and some investment of our collective capabilities, but it's that important, and the IFA does a terrific job, and I would encourage everybody to consider getting involved with the IFA. I really would.
I agree totally. So what does somebody like you have as an objective coming to an IFA event?
Yeah, well, number one, we bring a lot of our master franchisees from around the world, and so together we come and we learn about communications, change management, how do we support franchisees to achieve their dreams. We also come to help raise the visibility of BNI as a platform and a resource for other franchise organizations. And we also, we have our own offsites many times that are adjacent to this event. When people are coming in from around the world, we try to utilize that time to the highest impact.
Nice. All right, I got one more question for you. What would you say to somebody who is potentially a franchisee of a concept? What's a great piece of advice or a tip that you'd give them before they invest in a franchise concept?
Be committed to not reinventing the wheel. As a prospective franchisee, you are, buying into being part of a team, being part of a proven system. Definitely contributing ideas is awesome, but sometimes we see, across franchising people join and then they want to completely reinvent the system, and that's a little bit tricky. So I would say, it's important to be bought into the brand, to be bought into the community that you're joining, and it's really about execution and making sure that the responsiveness to customers of that brand is at the level that helps to build a great brand for everyone.
Graham, thank you so much. That was great advice. Appreciate it. Nice meeting you.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning into the Emerging Franchise Brands podcast. For additional insights, guest applications, and to stay connected, visit us at efbpodcast.com. The Emerging Franchise Brands podcast is for entertainment purposes only, and the views expressed do not necessarily represent those of Emerging Franchise Brands, its host Frank Fiume, or Emerging Franchise Group, LLC. Any discussed franchise or investment opportunity requires thorough investigation, obtaining proper disclosure documents, and expert consultation before making any investment decisions. The podcast and its host do not offer professional advice or endorsements, and they hold no responsibility for actions, representations, accuracy, or consequential damages related to the podcast content.